should have discussed that maybe before, but just fucking wing it. Send her, bud.
Yeah, fuck it. So yeah, we've been, God, it was like beginning of March, end of February.
Was the last one? Yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been some time.
Yeah.
Because it was before the fucking EP even dropped.
Yeah, that's right.
So it was like mid-February.
Shit, what day did we release that?
Like you're gonna remember.
Yeah, I'm not gonna remember.
No, you're not.
March 13th was the show, so it was a week. It was a week before that, so it was like March.
Yeah, the only reason I remember the show is it was Friday the 13th.
Yeah, that's the only reason I remember.
And people were freaking out about COVID.
COVID, the early stages of COVID. Man, what a good. Yeah, just go back.
We know.
Yeah, crystal balls.
I don't want to talk about anybody's balls, especially somebody named Crystal. That just seems
Hey man, it's 2020, dude.
I know it's 2020.
Yeah,
but,
come on.
Hindsight.
Open your mind.
The last time I stood up on my mind, somebody thought I was threatening to commit suicide. So I'm not. I made some shotgun pogo stick joke and it's something about opening your mind. I'm like, that's fucked up, man.
Yeah. So. I've done the same thing with painting houses.
Jesus. Didn't like that.
You ever painted with a sawed off?
It'd be fucking great.
Burgundy red.
Isn't burgundy red? Isn't that like the definition of, isn't burgundy a red color?
I thought it was more of like a...
Hold on, we go research.
Teal.
You're gonna Google? Yeah, there's gotta be somebody to Google.
But it's been a minute. It's been a hot second since we sat down.
Okay, update. Sorry, not only you released the album, but you released another remix since then.
Yeah, a remix and a single.
Jesus.
Yeah, we dropped Troglodyte on... God knows when. A week ago.
It's been a couple weeks.
Yeah, we released the Juice WRLD and Ellie Goulding remix like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and then the single just a week ago, and then we've got another one actually coming out June 1st or 2nd.
Yeah, and then I know Joe hit me up. He finally is like back on the answering.
Back on his bullshit.
Yeah, he's back on his bullshit.
Back on my bullshit.
So he actually has me getting him stems and stuff.
Cool. Hell yeah.
So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, no, it's nice.
I
I just got the new PC, so hopefully I'm going to get myself some copies of some Ableton and all that jazz and start working on some more experimental stuff.
Experimental?
Yeah.
I feel like you're going to like hump wizards.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of Tibetan throat singing mixed with American deep throat singing.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's American.
Yeah.
None of that Euro shit.
No, shit, dude. It's a little too hardcore for me.
So, well,
yeah.
Let's see. Okay, so what else changed? Oh, new studio. We're in a new studio now.
Yep.
Because I have relocated.
Indeed.
Unintentionally.
Unintentionally.
Definitely not my plan.
Yeah, but it's a nice spot, man.
It works.
Yeah.
It works. Yeah, for anybody who's going to be looking around, wait a second, that's not the same place.
Yes.
Maybe that's something you and I should do. We should just make every time we do an episode. We should
just get a new place.
We'll just some random spot.
Yeah, just break into somebody's house.
Like that one guy, dude.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
What's
I watched
his name?
this guy on YouTube.
Review Bra. He's the little dude in the suit that does like the fast food reviews.
He's always in a new place.
Yeah,
and he's like
we think that he's like a murderer.
But I'm like, I have this conspiracy theory that he's literally just a murderer that just kills someone, and he just like has different kimonos on, like just murdering women across the United States.
Just filming fast food reviews. Yeah, let's do that. There's this house I was actually
I don't really trust that many people's cooking.
I was just talking to.
Very fucking fine with it's the cooking. I'm not okay with.
I was just talking last night. There's this house out in Fruta on Aspen Street that is like abandoned. We think there's a car. There's like a car that like disappears from it every once in a while. But it's this really rundown house, and there's this pack of cats, like 30, 40 strong, that just live in this house. I've been wanting to break in and do a music video there, and that'd be a good spot to go.
There's a house next to Bauer's place that I was going to do a photo shoot in. So we went. I mean, the door's like hanging off. I went in there. Yeah, there was way too many raccoons. I'm not buying a raccoon.
Yeah, dude, they got opposable thumbs, man. You don't want to fuck with them.
No, they were shit. I wasn't okay with it. It scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
So I'm a little wary.
Yeah.
A little wary of that.
Yeah, it's probably smart. So, what else is new?
I mean, the world's gone to shit.
The world's gone to shit. Slowly getting back to like regular shit.
I don't think it's ever going to be regular.
No, I don't think it should. Honestly, I think I'm hoping that what comes out of this is people being a little bit more conscientious about washing their goddamn hands.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Like I've always said, I'm that dude who will, like, I'll go into restaurants and stuff that says all employees must wash hands before returning to work. If I got a Sharpie on me, I write underneath it. For everybody else, it's just a good fucking idea.
Yeah, seriously.
Like, so,
it's disgusting.
Yeah, it's gross.
The 6 feet thing is awesome. I've always really, you know, now I actually have a reason to get like mad at somebody for being like within 6 feet of my bubble and like in the gas station.
We talked about ordering bubble suits just so people would fucking.
Yeah, exactly.
When you go to the bars, people
exactly, man. I don't know why people want to just like breathe on your nape. They just want to like get as close as they can and just like sensually breathe on the back of your fucking neck when you're trying to pay for gas. It's disgusting. Yeah.
Yeah, I see them. It's mostly like one of the bars when people go and have those close talkers when they're drunk. Just
God, my brother.
Oh, dude.
It's so Cody and I are both the same.
He just wants to make out. With
yeah.
everything.
Oh yeah.
Everything, everyone.
Yeah, he's a little sloot.
Which if you give him a fucking pet, it works out fine because he just hangs out with
a
cat. He just rubs his face on it for like.
Yeah, him and I are the same. Where we'll be walking. If we're like walking down the street or something on a sidewalk, as we're talking, we slowly like converge. Like we end up bumping into each other or other people.
Dude, you were the hardest. That's why I never walked. The whole time I was on the scooter or on canes, I couldn't walk next to you.
Yeah,
you're always about to fucking knock me over.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that. I can't do that.
I've got my own orbit.
You really do. You really do.
Yeah. Let's actually check it. I'm on a pretty good sobriety streak.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm on going on 86 days. That's 2 months, 26 days, 14 hours, 20 minutes, and 45 seconds. So, yeah, going on that.
You quit smoking.
I quit smoking. That's a 3 day. That's I'm 3 days into that. I'm doing pretty well. So that's good. Got a new lease on life in that sense.
Probably been watching a lot more, horrible anime and.
Yeah, actually not a whole lot. I haven't really been. I've been trying to find a new show. I've been trying to get Haley caught up on Ozark because the 3rd season came out, and
right.
Yeah, I love that show. So we've been kind of doing that, but in between work and just balancing everything out, I just haven't really been because I've been going to bed super early now. I feel like a goddamn adult. Like even today on my day off, naturally just woke up at like 9:30, 10, and was up already, and haven't done that in years.
See, I got up yesterday at like 5.
Yeah, same.
I'm still up.
Yeah. Oof.
Yeah, I just haven't. Going to bed seems like such a. Well, and for the first time in a year, I have a bed now.
Yeah.
Like I went and got a bed.
Yep.
But because my hands are all fucked up.
I don't know about you, but I remember for the years that I was in Boulder, I was, because I was essentially couch surfing for years. And once I got into the place I'm living now with Norman and Phil, Phil was like, I remember for the first month and a half I was sleeping on the couch just because that's where I felt comfortable at. I wouldn't sleep in my bed. He's like, hey man, would you mind like sleeping in your bed? And I was like, yeah, it's probably a good idea. But yeah, I have a hard time adjusting. Couches are like the place I like to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, fuck. It's as much as I fucking love the
I just want to
desert.
go back to Hollywood and have people think you're Post Malone.
Yeah,
That's
that was
what I would
fun.
do.
It doesn't make sense to me because A, I have like significantly less face tattoos, and B, I'm like 5'11". That motherfucker is like 6'5". Like I'm like a baby version. You know what's sad is I'm older than him by like at least 2 to 3 years. I'm like that depresses me.
You're about to be 30.
Shut the fuck up! Shut up, dude.
Oh, I cannot stop saying it. He gets so sad every
Yeah,
time.
dude.
Anytime he's like, oh, my back hurts, I'm like, yeah, you're almost 30.
Yeah.
Fuck you!
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it couldn't have anything to do with car.
No, it has nothing to do with that.
Nothing.
I was just, I smoked a little bit of weed for the first time in a hot minute. I've been slowly kind of getting back into it because, sobriety from alcohol and hard drugs, you're like, okay, well, gotta have something. So, I, every once in a while, towards the end of the night, when I know that I'm not gonna have to do anything or I don't have to interact with anybody because I get really bad anxiety, I'll like sit down and smoke a bit of blunt.
A single marijuana.
A single
I
marijuana.
inject one marijuana.
Yeah, and we were hanging out with Travis and we were playing some Call of Duty, and the way I had it set up in the living room, I was like hunched, looked like Quasimodo sitting there playing some COD, and smoking weed made me realize how much constant pain I'm in that I'm not really hyper aware of. but I'm hyper aware of it when I'm smoking weed because I'm so much less tense that my, everything kind of.
You start feeling the pain.
Then I'm like,
That's my
oh fuck,
issue too,
dude,
yeah.
my back. I was sitting there, I was like, oh, I want my back brace so bad, and then that kicks in my memory that my roommate's dog chewed up the back brace like when he was a puppy, and it's just 12 grand out the window. Yeah, exactly.
You're good at losing money.
That's what I do best. I'm a professional money loser, so if you need your money lost, hit me up. You can invest it with me, and I will make sure you'll never see a penny of it. I got my Series 1. If you want, I'm qualified. I'll spend it in some seedy fucking places if you want me to. That's a surcharge, though.
Well, you know what? I don't know if it's so much that you lose money. I think you misplace money because, seriously, you in any place where anything isn't glued to a surface is like following a toddler.
Yeah, exactly.
You just misplace shit. Like within 5 minutes, you've lost how much shit?
He's a lot better about it now, though.
I am.
Because I lose so much shit. That
Yeah.
he's like,
I'm playing like a constant game of I Spy, or like what are those books? Was those the books, the I Spy books, where so it's like Where's Waldo or I Spy. I'm just constantly playing that.
Yeah.
Bro, having Travis and her in the same house is like
It's bad.
the most infuriating thing ever. I can't go 5 minutes with it. Hey, have you seen?
Now you know how I felt.
Yeah,
after how
exactly.
many years in
Yeah,
the fucking shop.
exactly.
Like, I just put that down. Where the fuck?
Yeah.
Well, Skyler's outside. He probably has it.
Yeah.
yeah.
Fucking seriously, extra toddlers that can reach up to 6 and 7 feet. So it's not fun.
No, I blame it on like some form of mental disorder, but it's just
It's just who you
it's
are.
just who I am.
It's just-
I blame it on goblins.
Goblin, yeah,
It's
it's
the
the
goblins.
underpants gnomes. They're snatching up all our
You know
shit.
what phase 2 is though, so
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. But okay, so that actually brought up 2 interesting points. One is, have you seen the new Where's Waldo?
Where
It's literally just Waldo by himself.
No, what? Like,
It's the COVID-19 edition.
oh, okay,
Where's
yeah.
Waldo?
I thought that's hilarious.
He's just like standing there.
You've lost your power, motherfucker. We got you, bitch. Just took a global health pandemic to find that.
Yeah, like, oh, found it.
Yeah, found you.
Yeah, you wandering fuck.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is, I actually we've officially gotten a couple emails into the Closet of Nonsense Gmail. And the first one I got was from a lady in Virginia who I don't know how the fuck she found us or why she thinks we're interesting. But she finally said, can you just start posting pictures of everybody you're talking about? Because you guys talk in first person about people like, he's brought up Travis.
Oh, yeah.
No, Haley's here. She's off camera because she won't get
But
on
we
camera.
can't do it. It's got to be candid. Like we got to do like the telephoto lens of them like brushing
Well,
their teeth.
what I want to do is I want to get Ian to do his meme thing.
Oh
He's
yeah.
really horrible because he has that collection
dude,
of everybody.
Dude, he sends me the absolute worst shit.
It's amazing.
It's so good. It's oh god, dude.
He
Like
spent so much time on it. I just think that's going to be fantastic.
yeah.
That's going to be like the best way to do this. And so I'm going to start putting those in, just inserting pictures.
Maybe we should do like a mailing list. You sign up for a mailing list, you get a little zine, like a little zine of Ian edits of everybody. Yeah. I'm really interested to see the art and what comes out of all of this isolation from all of our, not only our friends, but obviously like, the larger artists in the industry. But I'm really curious to see the quality, like how this is going to affect the art consciousness going forward as far as, because I mean, you look at like when big events happen, and I was actually really surprised throughout these past 4 years with I was expecting a lot more from the punk scene. Not that I'm not necessarily like plugged into it, but like with, I mean, look at Reagan era punk scene. Like that's what I was expecting. I was expecting this big backlash, but I didn't see it, and so.
But in some ways, here's the other side: is that in many ways, especially backpack rap and some of that hip hop is more.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I was
now
just listening to Joey Badass the other day.
Yeah.
His All American Badass.
Yeah.
And I find them having more to say about.
They do, and it's a little bit because the punk scene became so pop punk, fashion related in the late '90s. I think that with the exception of like Pennywise, Bad Religion, the original like early '90s punk bands, and then a lot of the tried and true. When you look at, I mean, the Ramones falling apart the way they did, and people dying, like those are the people who step up. The Misfits, you expect to step up, and in some ways they have. Yeah. But you've got Henry Rollins out there still ranting and railing and doing what he's doing, and you got to really look for that. But is it in the music or is it more in
the culture, the aesthetic?
More, it's not really in the music anymore.
it's
more
interesting.
just
I'm not, Because like I said, I'm not too plugged in to like really speak on what. Because obviously there's probably some local punk band out there,
It's
really
so hard,
really giving it to them. But
I know the grindcore scene has gotten pretty.
Yeah.
There's like this sub grind genre that's developed where there are these really fast, almost anti-political, rather than being about death and horror and gore, they're more like, how fucked is the world?
Yeah.
And they're these quick little minute and a half, 2 minute songs.
Yeah.
And there's some of that going on, but not as much.
It's super interesting because like along with the music consciousness, but like we were just having a discussion last night over, I think that coming out of this, I'm really hoping that the dissidents, I'm really hoping that people are going to step up and realize exactly like how fucked every like what I mean, how all this whole I saw something today. It's like COVID didn't break anything. It just showed the crack. It just seeped into the cracks and
it broke a lot of rose-colored glasses.
Yeah,
it took a lot of people's stupid optimism and ignorance about
how the government
works.
this I mean like the fact that I was actually Googling it this morning because I was really confused because I've heard that I know that they had passed the second stimulus bill was going through the House and it passed by like they had to re-amend it 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
But I knew that Mitch McConnell and the Senate was going to panic because they're saying that they want to see the economic ramifications of the first stimulus package. Which I'm like, okay, sure enough, if this was a case study, but it's not. There's people out there starving and dying, and you're going to hold up money to these like the low income, the highest risk people because you want to see like the fuck's going to happen. Like, no, this is not a time.
That's what makes this whole situation kind of fucked because it's not just. I mean, and I'm gonna be real. Like, we have a huge percentage of almost a quarter of the deaths in the world. Are in the United States.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's creeping into pretty high numbers. And what gets me is those numbers are low. They're not actually accurate because it's not just who died of
COVID-19.
It's who died of not being able to receive proper medical care.
Yep.
Who died of losing home, getting exposure, being isolated.
Depression,
suicide rates and things like that being up.
Domestic abuse.
It's a trickle down effect that people don't understand.
There's so many facets to it that it's not necessarily one thing. It exposes. It really is like. I mean, it's fear. It's like it brings out the worst in people because it's the uncertain times. I mean, things are just not as operating as we are accustomed to because we're creatures of habit. We fall into these. We get comfortable, and when that comfortability gets shattered, that's when people start going like wild. And you know what I mean?
It's made up a word.
Yeah. What? Comfortability.
Yeah. That was good.
Yeah. But it's I'm just hoping that something good will come out of all of this. I'm hoping that the guillotines start getting built.
Well, I mean, I will say this: like I was a little more worried, not necessarily in our area, but there are areas that are very, very, very redneckian.
Oh yeah.
And gun sales in Colorado were higher than they've ever been.
Oh yeah. I've been contemplating buying one. I mean, guns are cool and all. I appreciate firearms. They're here. You know what I mean? They're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
The technology's here. They're here. I prefer for people to be accustomed to using them and using them safely because the people who are the smartest gun owners are ones that are actively using guns. And people, because that's the thing is I can't tell you how many parties I've been to in my preteens and adolescence where some dumb motherfucker was waving a gun around. And that's how you have situations where we have our friend Ming who got shot through his spine and now is paralyzed. You know what I mean? I think everybody has somebody in their life that was affected by a mishandling of firearms. So I think that proper training and education on them is the best way to combat improper firearm usage.
No, absolutely. And but the fact that there's so many
that's the thing.
People that don't know, and that's what's great. I expected especially in really impoverished areas of the United States where there'd be more rioting, more looting, more issues of that.
Well, but you find the actual opposite. I think that the communities are coming together because they have to, because no one gives a fuck about them.
Yeah. Gang violence is going on.
Yeah, exactly.
I read this morning, I think it's, depending on which study you read, 17 to 19% carbon emission reduction in the last 45 days. That hasn't happened since like the early 1700s.
Yeah, the penguins are coming back to the Papa Johns. It's the Earth is healing itself. But that's the way we're raised here in this culture, in this society, is that success and your status and everything is based off of what you have and what you can get. And so that endorphin, that high of purchasing and accumulating wealth or accumulating stuff is hard to kind of deprogram from your brain, because we're just beat into it through, fuck, man. I always thought the concept of commercials was so fucking weird, man.
Right.
Like, you're watching a show and then it just is interrupted by this, like, this specifically designed brainwashing material to get you to buy shit. And it's just like, I always thought, like, if, like, it's just such a weird concept to me. Like, advertising is such an interesting. I love it. I love the picking of the brain, the mass consciousness stuff.
It's really psychological.
It is, but if you get down to it on an inherently human level, it is so fucked up.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it's so fucked up.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's beat into us our entire lives, and then so to kind of go back through that and trying to deprogram it to kind of wash that away is super. Like it's a good feeling, where you can kind of realize, like, okay, do I really need this? Why am I, like, is this going to bring me joy? I can't remember the name of the woman. She's got like that Netflix show. She's the Japanese woman who goes and feng shuis people's house. Exactly. Well, and the thing that she repeats whenever she's getting rid of, helping people get rid of shit is, does this bring you joy? And you have to really dig deep and find that answer. Does this bring me joy? If not, get the fuck rid of it. Like, why are you holding on to this shit? Like,
Well, and that's why you're like, I'm not.
Yeah, and that's, I don't know. So that's like one of the things that I'm, because with all this, like, all the things going on in the world right now, you really do got to realize that, stuff. You can't really.
Yeah.
It has no. When it comes down to it, the actual, that's the thing, the inherent value of things is far less than we give them to it. It's kind of like a gold standard. It's a gold standard.
Yeah.
We've moved away from the gold standard in our currency. We've moved away from the gold standard in our perception, in our mind, because we put value to things that are inherently worthless.
Yeah.
And which is fine. Don't get me wrong. For example, art. I always say that, you can't eat a painting. As important as art is, you can't eat a painting. You can, but you're gonna get, some toxic poison.
Why are you so tattooed? It's like, well, some people paint their walls. I
paint my body. Well, and yeah, you're always gonna keep it. You don't have to pack it in a movie.
Yeah. Right there with
unless you lose your arm, you're good.
Yeah.
But and that's the thing. Is like, you gotta kind of do a mental checklist, a kind of itinerary of the things that matter in your life and what's gonna. What's going to keep you going the next day, because you like I said, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You got your shelter, your water, your food, love, and then the rest of it's just kind of stuff. Stuff's cool. I fucking love stuff. Who doesn't love stuff? TVs are awesome. Like, I spent the monitor I spent like a month and a half like finding the perfect one, because I wanted an OLED monitor where it has like HDR perfect, it has the right color corrected, because that shit's cool. But at the end of the day, like, it's a fucking thing, I don't know. It's interesting, and I've been trying to be more aware and conscious of those kind of thoughts and procedures in my brain seeping in. Like, okay, do I really need this? Is this really gonna make me happy, or am I just gonna buy this and my shopping high is going to go away, and then I'm just going to be, I'm just going to have another piece of shit that I need to fucking get rid of at some point, Well,
and I'm watching a lot of people that are, I got the new drum set because it's a tool, it's a useful thing, but did I need to do it right now? Probably not.
When's a better time to? You're stuck at home all day. Like, that's the best thing you can do.
I've been stuck at home all day for quite some time.
I know, but I'm saying, but like...
That was my way of replacing the fact that I'm not going out and DJing.
Yep.
I'm not going out spinning.
See, and that's the kind of thing that, exactly, it brings you joy. It's something that is not only like good for you, it's good for your brain, it's good for getting out, It's art. You get to do
I just think
something.
it's funny how many people that I hang out with that have no idea I'm actually a musician.
Well,
it trips me the fuck out. How many people are like, wait, what?
I remember when Jobin and I were in Guitar Center with you. Yeah, when we went up to do the filming for the Bear Grylls show.
Yeah.
And you sat down and you were just doing your thing on the drums, and Joe was looking at me. He was, what the hell? Like, it's.
That Shelly actually called me in the middle of the night. She's like, I'm shook.
Yeah.
She goes, I just saw you playing drums and like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just, well,
when something's so ingrained into your being that it's not necessarily something you have to.
Like one of my friends just found out. Like she's been following me on Instagram.
Yeah.
She follows all my shit. She didn't know I was me. She just made the correlation. I mean, we've been friends on Facebook since like the date, so like 9 years. Mm-hmm. She just figured out, and I thought she was doing it to support me. She's literally hit me. I think this was like last Tuesday. She's like, "So you're psychotic," and she spelled it right in the message, and I'm like,
"Well, yeah, I am."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's like,
"I'm crazy."
So I've been like totally fangirling over your photos and videos and stuff for years.
I didn't know it was you. Well, remember when we were at the tattoo convention? I had
that's my favorite shit, though.
That was so good, man. I was so perplexed.
And I knew exactly what was happening. I walked as far away to still be able to hear.
So to catch y'all up, we were at a tattoo convention. We go to the Villain Arts ones about every year and do vendoring there.
And this was what, 2 years ago? Yeah,
this was 2 years ago, and I'm working the booth, and because we had my t-shirt designs and the psychotic photography and design booths kind of merged. And I'm standing at it, and this woman comes up and starts up a conversation with me. We're talking for about 5 minutes, and then I realize, okay, I think this person thinks I'm the photographer. Like, she thought I was Eric. She thought I was psychotic, and we let it go for a hot second.
I was watching it, and it's become a thing for me. Like, the same thing happened to Cody at this last one.
Yep.
Because Cody was sitting there playing the fucking Switch or whatever, hanging out, and he looked so sharp and well dressed and well prepared. I watched people, and he played it off like it was. I mean, he's like, absolutely. Here's my card.
Yeah.
I really don't have time to talk about this.
Yeah.
Like,
he goes back to his Switch.
Yeah. Just fucking, I love that shit. The anonymity, like, and this has been commented on now twice because people are like, you don't show up on podcasts. You never.
I don't like being on camera very much. Like this is uncomfortable for me.
Well, it's and a few people watch
I get more
like, why are you not in that? I'm like, it's my perspective. And they're like, well, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I just
like Cervanti refused. Like we filmed the one I did with Cervanti. We filmed all of it, and he goes, dude, I look like a Korean dictator. And then he's laughing. He goes, I just realized that nobody ever sees you. Like. You're this disembodied voice.
I've always been obsessed with the idea of the MF Dooms, of the early stage weekends of the world.
Right.
Where, I mean, the Daft Punks, you've got these figures, it adds so much like that. Like The Weeknd was a big one for me in high school. When he dropped House of Balloons, Echoes of Silence, and Thursday. It was like, who the fuck is this dude? He had never had an interview, no videos, no fucking photos. He was just this dude that came out and was killing Michael Jackson covers, just absolutely slaying it, sounding like MJ, like reincarnated. And then, and then MF Doom, it's just this. I also love it because from the mentality of, you have to separate the art from the artist. You look at your Bob Marley's, your Beatles, I'm spacing on this. John Lennon's. You look at your John Lennon's, your XXXTentacions of the world, where it's like, debatably, yes, pieces of shit. I mean, women beaters, rapists. Like, John Lennon, Bob Marley was like, just beating and raping his wife. But everyone overlooks that because they made an amazing art. It's not necessarily because you're overlooking the acts of the person, but you're separating the art from the artist. And I love that perspective of actually physically separating the art from the artist adds that layer.
It's almost forced on you, which makes it more interesting because then I'm listening to and it's really interesting to me. Like I do this for Nirvana a lot, where I want to know how sober he was, to how fucked up he was, at what time he's writing what song, how much was Dave Grohl,
exactly. You get obsessed into the actual personification of the person.
You get somebody like Deadmau5 or MF Doom, or even to an extent. Slipknot, Mushroom,
exactly.
Artists, where
it doesn't matter.
Mushroom has had interchangeable members, and people
don't even know.
Because it's the character.
Yeah, exactly. It is the art itself. The Gorillas. I was actually
it makes it
just
so
looking
much
at
more intense because you're like, it's about not only the material as it is, but what influenced that. What's the reference? What were they doing at that time? What is this song? Clint Eastwood.
Yep. See, when the opposite side of that I also get obsessed with, because I'm a huge Kanye West fan, you know that.
Yeah.
I love him. I absolutely love him, and he plays that side, the opposite side of that, so well. He is the embodiment of the stage performer. He is constantly.
He created the performer to become him.
Exactly. He became the performer in his day-to-day life.
He's like an anti-superhero.
Exactly, and so he is Clark Kent. If he's the Superman of Clark Kent, if Superman just decided to be.
He's a Bizarro world.
Exactly.
Bizarro
Yes.
Clark.
Yes.
He's
Exactly.
Bizarro
Bizarro Clark. And so it's super interesting to me with the artistry and the personality, like the person and the artist, like the stage and the exit stage left. You've got your the Japanese story of you wear 3 masks. That whole thing is super interesting.
And that's also id, ego, and super.
Yeah, exactly.
You have
the constructs that we have. Yeah.
And it's more a matter of like talking about relationships. This guy was gaslighting.
Yeah.
But if you watch a lot of politics, you watch a lot of advertising and things like that, the psychological aspects of it are that. Let me tell you what you want to hear.
Yeah, what you need.
Let me tell you what you want to hear to make you shut the fuck up.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's.
And that's, to an extent, that's in many ways what a lot of entertainment.
Yeah. Oh no,
but
it's hugely
like in the last couple of years, like watching all the stuff about child molestation, pedophilia, the prostitution rings, things like that, that have involved some pretty high up people. In the entertainment industry, particularly
your Jeffrey Epstein's, your fucking Harvey Weinstein's.
No, the thing is, like, you look at all those things. It's a lot harder to do the jazz hands and make somebody pay attention to something else.
Yeah.
Once that's really ingrained, like once it's really out there. I'm dealing with the shit with Davi, like right now. Like, there's so many different aspects because I know so many people that were
so
tied directly. It's like Jesus, like, and like I say, the dude was on several occasions that I dealt with him personally, super respectful, professional, nice.
Yeah. But you gotta think that's how predators work.
And that's exactly it. Like, how much of that was him just telling me what
you needed to hear, gaslighting you into thinking he wasn't this fucking piece of shit.
Yeah, because I mean, especially watching like Fallon, like I watched her interview with Chris, and it's like,
Dude,
I would cry. I felt so bad for her because she's like,
I really didn't. I got taken for a ride.
Yeah, I was taken for this period of time.
It's hurtful, man.
And hearing Ash and her story, like, I mean, and these are things that I've been hearing for a while from different people,
but you've never seen.
Yep.
So it's
it seems so. But I mean, going back to BTK, he was a pillar of the fucking community. Yeah. I never would have suspected. My neighbor is a fucking serial killer.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Like it's you never really
How do
know.
I construct this paper mache shell to be the most appealing thing for people so I can go inward and do this really fucked up shit without everybody suspecting.
Fucking anglerfish.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, they're deep sea anglerfish where they got the little light. Oh, come check out this little light, and then you get close to it, and you got those fucking massive teeth right in your.
I've been watching. I've been watching this like series. It's called Monster in My Family, and it's about
that's crazy.
Their family and how they knew them and how much it affected them, and it tells the story and how instead of painting the light of the media, how that person was to the family and how it was such a shock to them. And
that's what I loved about the Bundy feature. I Falling in Love with Bundy or whatever it's called. That it was told. It's from the book.
By his wife or whatever.
Girlfriend. It's told from her perspective. And like, if you watch that series, for one, Zac Efron kills it. Like straight up kills it.
He
killed that one. But what kills me more than that is that none of the violence is actually in the if you realize it.
It's like
only
separated.
What she knew.
Yeah. And I think that's so interesting.
That is an interesting perspective to take a more of a clinically approach to it and take the human element out of it.
What do you actually know?
Violence?
What do you see? And we've always said that, like, and I being involved in cryptozoology and paranormal investigating and all the weird shit that everything's so crazy for, like, that's why I like that stuff so much. It's not that I need proof.
Yeah. It's more of a clinical.
Millions of people around the world don't need proof of God to believe in God.
Yeah.
It's about having the faith that just because I have not seen it does not mean it does not exist.
It's oxygen, It's like, gravity, oxygen, these inherent forces that...
And we as humans want to solve. We want the answers.
Yeah, well,
and that's what,
we're chaos organizers. Yeah. That's what we do. We are the ants of the universe. We take the abundant chaotic energy in the universe and we try to organize it and compartmentalize it.
Define it.
Yeah,
put it into it.
Yeah, exactly. We love our boxes, bro. I'm a Democrat. I'm a Republican. I'm a fucking Protestant. I'm whatever.
Yeah.
We love these boxes, man. We are chaos organizers. We stack these boxes and then you know, we don't know what to do when it falls. It's just,
Yeah,
but so it's very human. I mean, the biggest question in the entire human existence is where do we come from? You know, all these existential questions of.
You just
but it's like.
Where do we come from? Where do we go?
Yeah. But it's funny when you really look at. I've always been like, yeah, it's super interesting. It'd be cool to know, but at the end of the day, who fucking cares, man? It has zero relevancy on my fucking life. Yeah, exactly.
And so many people do.
Yeah, no,
like, fear of the unknown is way more of a motivator than fear of the known. Like, we all know that stepping into traffic is dangerous. You know, that we could die at any moment. A bus could fucking smoke us. We're not afraid of that day to day because we've seen it, we've experienced it. But, you know, I told somebody the other day, you realize you're never more than 10 feet from a spider. And she wanted to move.
Yeah, she was like out of her skin.
Like she was like crawling out of her skin, and I was like,
well, you know what's interesting is I have always had like a pretty weird fascination with death and the unknown of that next step in the journey of whatever happens.
You just disappeared.
Whatever. But the car accident was a big turning point for me because I was not scared of shit before that. Didn't give a fuck. You catch me doing some dumb shit and not even thinking twice about it. After that car accident and like realizing like really first-handed experience, 'cause I've seen some fucked up shit. You know what I mean?
You were in some fucked up shit.
But I was in some fucked up shit and like experiencing that firsthand and that feeling of laying on the ground thinking I'm gonna fucking bleed out and die and fucking have my little brother watch me fucking die on the side of the road and him having to carry that guilt for the rest of his life that he was driving the car kind of shit.
Yeah.
That was like a big thing. So it's not even necessarily now that I'm scared to die, but it's like it's that appreciation of okay, all this shit could happen right now, but that only makes this shit more and more valuable.
That's the hardest thing.
Of all that and our coping mechanisms and our how we rationalize death, how we rationalize our mortality is super interesting to me. I'm obsessive with it certain times because like I mean when it comes to like for example my drug addiction, looking inside on that and wondering, digging really deep to try and find the root causation of all these, why am I doing this?
Why this trigger?
And it was funny. I was talking to some friends last night about, because I was, they were like, "Oh, you're still doing the sobriety thing?" I'm like, "Yeah." And like, "Yeah, what sparked? Well, why do you feel like quitting all of it?" And I was like, "Well, because I have a really bad habit of self-destruction." Self-sabotage. Something's going good for me. It seems fishy. I'm gonna ruin this before the world ruins it for me, so I can not look like a bum.
You hit things back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, it's like okay, I don't want to look like a fucking fool. So I'm gonna fucking ruin this myself. Fuck it. I'm gonna burn it. I'm gonna burn this house down before the demolition team can come and do it because I foreclosed on my house. I'm gonna burn this bitch.
That's the reason a lot of people commit suicide.
Yeah, exactly. I'm taking this into my own hands.
Yeah, I'm going to take control. And addiction does do that because it not only numbs you, but it...
Yeah, and see that fear of failure. I think that's one of the big things especially when it came to doing drugs. I would be so scared of the idea that I know personally that I have the complete and utter capability for success. My idea of success. I have a 110% chance of doing that if I apply myself.
Right.
But the fear of failing that is so crippling that I would rather just stay at home and get high and not have to worry about it and not have to worry about going and doing those things because I don't want to fail at it.
You need to watch Meet the Robinsons weekly.
Yeah, it's super interesting, man. And so I think if people kind of dug deeper on that.
That's so valid.
I'm not wrong. For real. No,
it's
Walt Disney. The dude failed constantly.
Yeah, but I mean, you look at Steve Jobs, Oprah Winfrey. They have all those examples of people who were down and out into their 30s, 40s, and then they finally find their route, their avenue, and it comes yet again back to the whole concept of finding out what's important.
Success, what is important.
Exactly. What is important? What brings you joy? And chase that. Get those things in your life and cut the excess out. Trim the fat and make a good steak, bro. I don't want a giant fucking 22-ounce sirloin steak. I want a fine cut wagyu. A Japanese fucking grass-fed, 100% grade A, cut of meat. Beef.
You hear the theory of the glass ceiling. You hear that all the time.
Yeah, shattering.
You got to shatter through the glass ceiling. There are so many people, and I watch this so much. It drives me crazy. I have so many successful friends, and I will say this: it's mostly females that deal with this, where they are doing so well, and they are really there's a lot going on, and they're doing great. and they want to do more, and they've tied themselves or so to this relationship where the guy says, well, we've got the house and the 2 kids and the 2 cars, and I got the 4Runner and the 4-wheeler, and I got the boat, and that's their idea of success. Like they hit that point
where they don't want it anymore. You know, which
like,
is content.
like, cool,
yeah. I mean, and whatever makes someone content, sure, if that's your idea of success.
And I don't want to knock that. I don't want to knock that.
But
it's like,
at the same time, you have the potential for so much more.
Yeah.
Why put that limit on yourself? I constantly get brought back to this quote from Joy Badass, which is like, at some point I'm getting this tattoo because it's the sky's the limit. That's what they told a fucking fool. I'm aiming for the sun and moon. Like, you know what I mean? It's just that like the world, the society, the everything that we get caught up in kind of makes you feel that makes you trick yourself into thinking that you can achieve less than you really can.
Well, and so many people believe that.
Yeah, they do because they want to.
And the other side
too.
is it's defined. It's like they say the American dream.
Yep.
Like, for me, if the American dream is being in debt and having
white picket fence and fucking
like,
kids
that's
you hate.
the American dream.
Yeah, I'm married to someone you fucking
I'll
loathe,
buy somebody
and having
else's
2
identity.
shitty kids.
They can have my social security number. I'll deport my ass out there. Like that's not who I am.
Yeah.
That stuff has never been my goal, my dream, my desire. And I watch people
chase it.
Chase
it
like,
to the point where their feet are bloody, and it's so sad to watch.
And it's like, man, you could have done so many other things.
Yeah.
Like, people who don't even recognize their own potential.
Yeah, that's the saddest thing, and that's what I love to do. Is that's something I've found that brings me real joy, is helping people realize and achieve that potential within themselves.
Yeah, I had this friend ask me.
I fucking love it, dude. I love watching people glow up, man. There's nothing more than I love that.
There's so much joy to be found in discovering talent.
Yeah.
And watching people succeed. I got asked the other night. A friend of mine, she just flat out, blatantly, she's like, "Why do you help me? Why do you talk to me? Why do you?"
Because I see something in you that you don't.
And I was like, because I see a future you that you haven't met yet.
Yeah.
That is so much more the level of potential of who you're going to be and who you're capable of being, and who you would be proud of. You would be proud of yourself in that person, and I already am. I'm already proud of who you're going to be.
Yeah, you just need to take the steps. Yeah. Well, it's, and I kind of I'm digging into my, my consciousness to think, okay, so, because I feel the same way. One of my favorite things is like getting people invested in, I mean, I'm constantly pushing it to the point where Cody would get pissed at me because I'd push him. I'd be like, yo, dude, you could do your art like for a living, dude. Like you really could.
He's that good.
He's that fucking
He's
good.
That fucking talented.
And
Absolutely.
he doesn't, he's at a point where he doesn't want to do that, and that's fine. I had to realize that, but I think why I push people so hard and why I love doing that is part of that fear of failure. It's like that. Okay, so I want to help somebody like the way that I want to.
Vicariously through a lot.
I do. I want because it's like one of those things where it's like, you want somebody to succeed so much because it's like you see that potential. And you see that within yourself too, and helping. It's like almost helping yourself through helping someone else. It's like, okay, I'm gonna help guide you, and in a way, we're gonna find this path together.
There's two sides to that though. There's the side of I want to watch you succeed because I want to push you and I know you're capable of. There's the other side of it is I want to push you and I want you to succeed so I can write your coattails.
See, and that's the dangerous
side.
The dangerous part. And see, that's never something that I've ever because that to me on the other end of it is like I would never be able to be content in myself because people know, you would know that. You would know personally, okay, I'm only here because I fucking dick rode my way to this spot. You could say,
don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
they
see,
don't care.
to me, that would eat me the fuck alive at the end of the night. I would lay down in bed and be like, wow, I'm such a fucking has-been piece of shit that I couldn't do this on my own. That's nothing I'd ever want to do. But in the sense of, I would love to, and that's the hard part is because when I think about where I want to be at my life, can't wait to get to a point where I can bring people up. You know what I mean? But I don't want people. I don't want to do that to somebody and make them feel like they owe me their success. Exactly. It's that weird balancing act of I
talk a lot of times about
that sensation of working for it is that it's. I don't know. I get a big sense of enjoyment. I mean, this whole COVID thing is a big. I got on unemployment and getting $600 a week. Fucking tight, dude. For doing nothing. I gotta sit at home, I gotta be creative, I gotta hang out with my girlfriend, I gotta catch up on series, do art and shit like that. And I got paid for it. More than I usually make at any of my other jobs.
Yeah.
But as soon as I could go back to work, I went back to it because that long-term money, first of all, is, I mean, the
Yeah.
unemployment money is going to run out. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to sacrifice my job because I want to sit at home and do that shit. But I also don't feel good with that money.
Yeah.
I like earning my money. Spending it gives that weight to it. It's like, yeah, like,
Yeah.
this
No,
was
I get it.
this
I
many
get
hours
that.
of my fucking day.
And I've said since you started working the 2-3 part-time jobs, like, dude, your math sucks because
Yeah.
you could get one
Yeah,
full-time job.
and now that's what I'm doing.
And
I'm in a spot that I'm actually appreciated at.
Years
Yeah, they just gave me keys. Like I'm fucking in love with the place I'm working at now, and I get to go into work with a sense of joy and actual fulfillment because I'm being
You sound
recognized.
different when I talk to you after work.
I used to be. I wanted to kill myself, bro.
And now you're like
Working at
let's go do
Domino's,
stuff.
I mean, shouts out to Norman for giving me that job because I needed it, and it was like easy and convenient because my roommate was my GM.
Yeah.
So it was easy, but at the same time, I would go into work and I would literally look at the pizza cutter and be like, I wonder how many times I have to roll it across my wrist before I fucking died. Like I would literally
Accidentally
want to
turn
shove my
your
fucking head in the
You're
oven,
looking
bro.
at the dough.
Yeah, I'm
You're
actually
like, I got my hand
I'm
in
so
there. I
hyped.
probably get work what's coming.
Yeah, I'm so hyped because I just got and this comes back to that. I want to help see people glow up. My homie Chris, who was my manager at Domino's, who's been working there for like 3 or 4 years, I fucking got him an interview at Discontent, and he got the job. I didn't get him that job. I got him an interview. I got his foot in the door so he could get himself the job. And I'm so stoked because he's going to have a more fulfilled day because I know how I felt after leaving that shitty place. Feeling that way in the job that I was at was soul crushing, soul sucking, and fucking I wouldn't wish that shit on my worst enemy of feeling inadequate and feeling unappreciated and feling lesser.
It's horrible.
It's
horrible.
fucking horrible. And then you have to deal with the shitheads. I mean, you're working with the lowest common denominator of people that come in there. But and like I was saying, going back to I find joy in helping people reach their fullest potential. Because Chris was, I felt bad because I kind of felt like I was rubbing it in his face, or people say I'm fucking out of here, fuck y'all, like can't wait to be out this bitch, because I had to kept going back because I was like covering shifts for Norman and all that shit, which I don't mind doing because he's my friend. You know what I mean? I'm gonna do that. Like, hey man, you want to stay up one more night camping? Sure, I can go in for a few hours. It's cool. But and helping Chris get that job. And knowing how much better of a life he's going to have because he's going to, you just said you see it in my day-to-day is so much more fulfilling. Like, because I'm not looking 4 hours ahead and feeling dread because I got to go into fucking
and that's the thing.
some
shit.
shit.
You do at any job,
shit.
the clock, and
Yeah,
you
dude.
job, that's all you do.
I'm
It's
excited
like-
to go into work. I'm working from home. I'm doing extracurricular work. Like, you know what I mean? I'm messing, I'm like, I love it. And so being able to do that for somebody else and help them,
When you don't sit stagnant, you've got something.
Exactly, man. So that's a great example of the like a encapsulation of that whole conversation we were having with the coattail-esque helping people glow up. I'll get you an interview, bro, for sure. You got to do the job though, like you know what I mean. Like you still got to do the work. Like so it's like I love helping people, but there's only a certain extent that you can help somebody. They got to help them, and that's a big thing with the addiction cycle. With a lot of things, is it's like dude, I can do all this shit for you, but at the end of the day, if you're not gonna fucking do it for yourself, you're gonna end up right back in the same spot you were.
Like in high school, they make you watch movies that are like supposed to like Rudy.
Yeah, I watched Rudy. We all laughed super hard when he said molested. Yeah. He's running down the field unmolested. I remember cracking up in high school.
No, I mean it's those kinds of things. Like you watch those movies. I have thought since the movie came out that anybody who's dealing with severe self-doubt or not making that jump into being better or people who just aren't living up to their own potential or addicts, truly addicts, they should watch Jerry Maguire. Specifically the scene where he's in the fucking locker room and it's Tom Cruise going, help me, help you. Yeah. You gotta do this shit. You gotta take part in this shit. Help me, help you.
See, I haven't seen Jerry Maguire. I always see it on there.
That movie, like, it's, for one, it is a romantic comedy and it is, like...
I like me some rom-coms, man. There's nothing wrong with it.
I usually don't.
I usually don't either.
I usually don't like funny shit.
I usually don't like them, but there's nothing wrong with them.
But Jerry Maguire is one of those where, for one, Cuba Gooding Jr., I don't think he's ever played a role.
I love Cuban. I love Cuban, dude.
That dude, seriously, like...
Yo,
like,
Snow Dogs? Come on, bro. Classic.
Okay, to be fair, I never saw Snow Dogs.
Oh, bro, Snow Dogs is the shit.
So good. I
So
see
good.
that movie so often.
But I mean,
Yeah.
even like you look at Minimalize, where he plays the diver.
Yep.
Um,
The recent thing he did with he was Juice.
Yeah.
He was O.J. Simpson. He killed
Yeah.
that. Yeah, he
like,
killed it.
He's such a different. I mean, even like Pearl Harbor's a big giant shiny turd. Yet his character.
Yeah.
Killer.
Yeah.
He's
But yeah.
only in the look a little bit. So yeah, his acting is fantastic because he plays this narcissistic, fuck you for not appreciating me kind of guy, and it takes this piece of shit agent to go, that's your fault.
Yeah.
You did that.
See,
and I love that.
You know what's
because it is that
interesting?
tough
You
love
can
thing.
probably. I saw this in myself, and I know you've seen it too. In my early stages of my career, I think every artist goes through this period where you've reached that point where you know you're doing good enough work that you deserve some recognition. But when it's not coming quick enough, you get resentful and you get hateful. And luckily I've passed that. I've gotten to a point where I was just having a conversation with this girl on Facebook. I can't remember her name. But she was frustrated because Michaela. She was getting frustrated because a lot of her friends weren't supporting her stuff. And I can totally empathize with that, where it's like, and you get this hateful resentment feeling, but then you got to take a step back. And what I told her was, you got to keep your head down and work, and then you're going to look up, and there's going to be one more person paying attention than there was the day before that, and you just rinse and repeat that until you die. And it's
a sex tree, is what it is. It's not who you've touched, it's who they've touched.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's actually how it works.
Yeah.
Jeff is a great example of that. Ekoh. Dude, 3-4 years ago, nobody was looking at him.
Yeah.
And now he's literally like, oh fuck, they need to stop, I'm too busy. You love that shit.
Yeah.
And I hope you send this to Michaela, because the one thing that I've learned in all of this, we've been friends for a long time. You've been in my day-to-day life pretty consistently for years now.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you have any clue what the fuck I'm up to day to day?
Not really, no.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because I learned a long time ago.
It's better to work quiet, man.
Just work, put in the work. And when shit works,
they'll see the results.
I love when people. It's like I tell everybody all the time when I go to business meetings and I'm wearing my, I show up and people are like, oh, who the fuck is this moron?
Yeah.
And then I start talking.
It's the art of war. It's the art of war. I want to be underestimated by my enemy. I want to, because that gives me the full potential for.
But it's almost even more rewarding when you're underestimated by the people closest to you.
Exactly.
They love you and they're supportive. They're like, hey, whatever.
Exactly,
man.
man.
They're like there's look of shock on people's faces when you do something. They're like, Jesus Christ,
well, and going back to that feeling of, like, I remember being so fucking frustrated, and it still happens sometimes because I love my friends, but like, for example, the show that we just had. They showed up, which I fucking love. Like, I will, that to me means the world. But stay for 5 minutes and then dip to go to the bars and drink made me feel a certain type of way. But, I let that feeling go, and you just have to realize that, like, you don't have to support my art or anything to be my friend. Like, that doesn't matter to me. If anything, I don't really give a fuck whether I like my music. I like what I do.
Well,
if you don't, I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
like, if you love it, though, if you love it and it brings joy to you, that's all I want, man. Kid Cudi put it this way. It's like, bro, if I can keep one kid from killing himself with the art that I make, the music, I won a Grammy. I'm on top of the fucking world. I have reached the level of success beyond, and it's immeasurable.
If you change one
person's life, man. That's all I fucking want, man. Because I think about those darkest fucking moments in my life, and what was there for me? Music was there for me. And the things that kept me going and kept me thinking, maybe I don't want to kill myself. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. Music was that, and if I could be that for somebody, that's all I fucking want.
Well, and it's why people call their art their children.
Yeah.
Because that's what you want your kids. You want your kids to be better. You want your kids to have better.
Yep.
And this is the kind
and that's the advice that I wish I could go back and give myself, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, when I wouldn't listen. But
the other thing you've been through,
is
that you've accepted that there's a lot of people with absolutely no sense of actual aesthetic taste.
Yeah, taste. Yeah.
People.
Well, doing the bar sets is something that taught me that. It's like I could show you the fucking Mona Lisa. I could show you David. I could show you the best monuments in the world. And if it doesn't have fucking confetti on it or whatever, you're gonna think it's bullshit. And okay, well, that's everybody's got their taste, and that's cool.
Art is only as
it's
good
subjective.
as
Exactly,
it's
man.
completely subjective, and that's the thing that
that's
you have to remember.
Yeah, you can't take it personally when people don't like your shit.
Which is part of the reason why I like DJing with you and Joe. And the nights that we do that when the three of us go out, because we're just playing for each other.
Yeah, exactly. No,
we don't give a fuck who's there.
Man, but
I keep getting asked for us to live stream.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I
well, and that's
that.
why I got the computer. Is I'm hoping to be able to do that.
People are literally asking me like, why don't the three of you just get together and DJ for a night and do what you do?
But so in that same regard, you know what makes me so much more? Because the amount of times that I'd have people come up and tell me, "Hey, you fucking suck, dude." Like, you know, like, "Hey, like, why don't you play something good?" The dudes that would come up to me, or you know, chicks, people would come up to me and be like, "Yo, dude, are you playing a ZZ Gibson in the club right now?" Like, dude, I never thought I'd hear this, and it fits the vibe perfectly. Like, you know what I mean? People, but that is what I like.
I remember playing Juice WRLD a couple years ago.
Yeah. Oh, bro.
When we were playing Juice WRLD, people were looking at you and going, "What the fuck?" I'm like, suck. And now
you'll fucking see.
Yeah.
Well, bro, it comes down to like, you know, it's all about that ear, and also thinking from not your own perspective.
Yeah.
That's like, and that's something that more people need to do is like look at art from not their like, oh, you know, like for example, like there's so many genres of music that is not for me, but I can see the interest in it. Like it's good music. I've always said, man, hey, as long as your mixing and mastering's on point.
Yeah,
it's good music. Yeah, it's good music. I don't, you know, it might not be for me. I mean, don't get me wrong. I hate most modern country. Give me some Chris Ledoux or maybe some early Brooks and Dunn. I'm fucking down, bro. It's good music. But like when you get to that point of where it's like, okay, this is overproduced, saturated pop shit. It's not even, doesn't sound good. Like the sonics aren't, like, you know what I mean? The sound's not there.
I hate the fucking Eagles, man.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. So it's literally just comes down to that. It's like, it may not be for me. My French teacher, Mr. Pierre Corbesson was his name. He was the fucking weirdest dude. Cody and him used to get at it. Cody got suspended because he told him to fuck off. He was the French and Spanish teacher at the 8-9. Crazy motherfucker. He kept a brick in his drawer. Like, cause he was like this, he's like, in case of school shooter, he has a brick in his fucking, he's the most weird dude.
That's
but
awesome.
I remember he did this like weird thing where he brought escargot in. I mean, it wasn't that weird because it was a French class. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, dude, I'm good. Like, I don't want it. And I was like, I don't like it. He's like, don't say you don't like it. Say it's not for me. And I'm like,
that's fair.
No, and that's something I brought, I mean, that's probably,
and dude, I mean,
because it's like, dude, like it might not be for me, but I can see why other people like it.
Well, and I mean, of course, I did this last week. I make people cry because I tell them, look, I'm sorry, like this isn't, it's not there. I watched this dude the other night on that live stream we did for Swinging News. The dude has talent.
Yeah, but it's not there.
Solid. But he's trying so hard to be
something that he thinks is going to be. And I struggled with that for a long time too.
Des said it to me. Des said it best. He said, if you're playing music to sound like your favorite band, you're a year behind the trends.
Exactly, dude.
Like, what are you doing? Make something new. Make something that makes you happy. Make something.
Yeah.
I mean, and it kills me. Like,
no one's gonna be you, bro. No one can be you.
Yeah.
So quit trying to be somebody else.
You know,
be you.
Yeah. And like, I mean,
you'll find success. It'll find you.
If it's
if you got your heart, and you work at it every single day, bro, it'll happen, dog.
Absolutely.
It might not be to the extent of what you think it's going to be, but it will happen.
It won't be the way that
you're not going to be.
Like,
I mean, I tell people all the time, bro, you're not going to be Drake, dog. Like that, you're not. Like you could be, but realistically, nah, dude. Like, but you could be touring. You could be making a living off this. You could get rich off.
It's your level of success.
It defines it. But don't start making music and think that you're gonna fucking pop off and be the next Travis Scott or Drake. You're never gonna. That's not gonna happen, dude.
I never wanted to be a millionaire.
Yeah.
Like that. I've never wanted to have it handed to me.
No.
Don't get me wrong. Like,
I just want to support
you get such a rush being in front of big crowds.
Oh, dude, it's the best high I've ever had.
I have stage fright.
Same. That's
shit.
why I had that. I struggled with drinking before sets. The amount of times I've blacked out during a show. Most of the shows I played. That show on Friday the 13th was the first show in my musical career that I played sober.
Yeah.
Because I have crippling stage fright. Yep. So I use alcohol to compensate.
That's why I have all the masks.
Yep, and
that's why I do the masks and why when I play drums I face backwards.
Yeah, and
see it doesn't exist. I fucking ostrich the shit out of it.
Yeah.
And that's just it. I do. I just put my fucking head in the sand and play. I do my fucking job.
Dude, when I'm playing, my hat's like this. It's exactly that same
Joey
concept.
puts the big hoodie up because he doesn't like people to come in from the side.
It's so funny. I feel like if you talk to a lot of working musicians in the industry, you'll get that same response, man. There's a lot of people that you would not expect. Like, you meet them on stage. I mean, Fly is not a great example because flies fly all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, Kendrick's a good example, dude. Like, you know, he's the most mild-mannered, quiet dude. Yeah. Yo, at Hoodies, that was crazy.
Like, I love that shit.
Oh, bro, mid-verse, all right, dude. You guys I have a trash bag behind. I have a trash can behind my DJ booth, and he grabs it and goes and pukes behind the stage. Comes back out and spits the rest of his verse. Yeah, dude. But it's a pretty common theme for working artists and people that
Not just artists. Look at boxers, MMA artists. Anybody, public speaking is so hard for so many people.
Oh, I mean, it's the number. It's like right behind fucking.
Shit, Salem hit me the other day and was like, "It just hit me. I'm playing a set," and she was like almost hyperventilating. And this is a girl who lives her life so publicly and so, and she was just like, it was hurting her. And I was like, but you're going to love it.
Yeah.
And then she listened to her set, and she's like, this is going to be so much fun. Like, some people just live for it. Some people just don't. And it's those different styles. Like, you watch people not know where they're coming from, where they're going. And I think that...
You just about Cotton Eye Joe'd it again. You just about Cotton Eye Joe'd it again. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
I think that if you change your definition of what success is. There's levels of success. Yeah. I mean, and I'll be the first to tell you, I've found massive success.
Yeah, but it wasn't your idea of it.
When I fail, it's in spectacular fashion. It's both ways.
Yeah.
You're going to have those ups and downs. You're going to have those things.
No, success is not a trajectory. It's not a linear trajectory. Yeah. You're going to have dips. I mean, that's in everything. I mean, the mental health. You got to think of it like a heart monitor. Yeah, exactly, bro. And that, I think you bring up a really good point with the changing, or really identifying. It's not even necessarily changing, identifying exactly what your idea of success is. Because for me, like I said, don't get me wrong, being acknowledged and being, in a sense, quote unquote, respected for what you do it would be awesome. But that's not something I need. What I want is to be able to support myself, my family, and my friends off of doing the thing that I love, which is music. And then the rest of it coming the other way is just benefits, which is cool and all. And then it also comes back to the idea of like, okay, I'm doing this because I also want to be the person that was there for me. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be the Kid Cudi. I want to be the dude that was there for me when no one else was.
You didn't plan the pandemic at the same time.
Yeah. Honestly, bro, as fucked up as it is to say,
it's probably easier.
This whole thing has been one of the best things that's happened for my not only my personal life, our relationship, my fucking career, my mental health, my physical well-being. This has been tight. I mean, I hate to say it because there's so many people out there suffering, but for me personally, I mean, I'm 25, going on 26. I'm fucking, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going around spreading it. I'm doing my thing. I'm making sure I'm keeping myself and my family and everybody else healthy. But I'm just chilling, dude. Like, I'm having a good time. I'm stacking up money. Like, I'm not, there's no bars open, so where the fuck am I gonna go get it, you know what I mean? So I'm just chilling. I'm making art, this whole thing's been super interesting because it's a two-edged sword. It's a catch-22. It's like, this really fucking sucks, man.
I mean, I found myself checking in on a lot of my extrovert friends. I mean, God forbid turns out you're a closet introvert.
Yeah, no, I am. That's the thing. The reason, because Cameron and I, because Cody was the black sheep in the sense of, you know, he was out, everybody knows him, he's talking to people, he sleeps on strangers' floors, like me? No, dude, you'll never catch me sleeping over at even a friend's house usually, but strangers? Fuck no. Not doing that. But that's where drugs and alcohol came into play. That's where that came from, is that side of me where it was like meeting people and doing that, like, and all that shit was the alcohol and the drugs feeling it. Yeah. When I'm sober, I'm at home, dude. Because when growing up, I was picked on, I stayed at home, I played video games, and me and my friends, I made the joke at work the other day, it's like, me and my friends were just a bunch of pussy repellent. I was playing Nintendogs on the front of the bus on my DS, and fucking reading Star Wars fucking novellas, like, I didn't do shit. And so then getting into fucking partying, and that's where that extroverted side of myself came out. But these days, it's like, nah, dude, I really don't want to be around nobody. Like, especially when I'm not fucked up. Like, I can't tolerate your shit. You know what I mean? Like, I can barely, like, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super interesting.
It's going to be really fun to watch you in like 10 years because I have a feeling that you're going to be either really, really jaded or very, very good at the whole, like,
I'm really hoping that I can find a good balance.
What are you doing in my swamp?
Yeah, I'm hoping that I
where-
can find a balance, man, because right now I'm hella jaded.
Yeah.
It's really hard for me to be around anybody that's doing
anything
is stupid, and
Yeah.
it sucks because I was right there like 3 months ago, like 86 days ago. I would have been right there, fucking railing out of line and saying some stupid shit. So I try not to like judge people super hard for it by any means, but at the same time, I just don't like. I've gotten to a point in my life where I don't want that around me. I don't want that. I don't want. Because that's affecting my like your good time is fucking up my good time, dog. Like I want you to have fun, dude. Just away from me.
Yeah.
You know, because my fun is not and it's getting better because I've been in situations where not only with this whole thing going on, I fucking hate being around. Like I hate being that person that's like, wow, man, I'm really not being safe right now around these people. With the pandemic going on. But then there's that extra thing of like, I'm painfully sober right now and y'all are really fucked up. And having a conversation with about your fucking dad or traumas going on, like, dude, I love that you're opening up to me, but like, you're not gonna remember talking to me about this.
Right.
Yeah, and I don't want to be like...
I have a memory that you I wish I could
So I'm trying to find that balance where I'm not, because I don't want to be, and that's why when I first started my sobriety before this whole pandemic shit, when the bars were still open, I was pushing myself to go to the bar and hang out with my friends but not drink. But then I just found myself getting really fucking pissed and like taking it out on my girlfriend or just like whatever, because I was having to, so I'm trying to find that balance, that happy medium of being like, okay, yeah, I can go hang out and have a good time and not want to throttle your neck. But I also don't want to be the old dude, or you know what I mean, the bummer being like, well, you shouldn't be doing that. Like, you know what I mean? I'm trying to find that, and hopefully I can, because I don't want to be a fucking. I always thought straight edge people were fucking weird. I don't trust them. I don't. I really don't, dude. You're fucking weird, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I mean,
you gotta have something.
I did the straight edge thing for a long time.
Yeah,
and
and
a couple of my friends have come back into my life recently. Like, it's so weird to see you drink.
Yeah.
Like, dude, we didn't know you ever did anything like that. And
Yeah.
So, and then, of course, the friends who I've had for
Yeah, no, you used to
20, 30
yeah.
years, and
Yeah.
you're just like, bro, you don't even know.
No,
Like,
yeah, exactly. See, that's this whole thing is I'm gonna go as long as I can. I don't want to like limit myself
Don't
because
put-
drugs.
don't put a
Yeah,
date on
because drugs and liquor are fun, dude. Like they're fun. It's a cool part of life, and I don't want to keep myself from that. But I also don't want that to. I want to do the drugs. And I want the drugs to do me.
Yeah.
I remember
being 8, 9 and being like, I'm never gonna drink because I was looking at my mother and being
Same
like,
with cigarettes. I used to be one of those kids
Yeah.
that would walk with my nose like this when I was walking past.
See, I was just,
fucking
having
cigarette. It's like-
an attack every time my mom smokes. It didn't
Yeah,
matter. I was
dude,
like,
but now-
I'm
yeah.
fine anyway. But I remember being that kid and then of course by the time I'm 13, 14, just smoking a half a pound a day and fucking drinking consistently.
Yeah.
By the time I was in high school, or it was an actual problem. And it can be said that any drinking beyond just a drink or so to keep your blood is a problem. And I do have that.
But everything in moderation is fine, man.
Yeah,
I just
and
want to get
please-
to. And at this point, man, I know that I have the self control now because I've gone 86 days with it, but I don't
Well,
want
when you
to.
first started
I don't want to
drinking
revert back into it.
When you first started drinking, and after your birthday, when you got back from LA, you were good for 3 months there. We were good. We would go have a couple of drinks.
But then it devolves. Like I said, it's that self sabotage.
It's easy to fucking slip into it.
Yeah, so I just want to get to a point where I can do that and not fucking fuck up my life. So, and if that takes me not doing anything for a year, so be it. I can do that. Like if you have the self-control to say no to something that is the best thing that you've ever done, you can do anything, dude. You can put your mind to anything. I think that recovering addicts, and I think that people in recovery and people who have been recovered, I think those people are some of the strongest people on this fucking planet because they've experienced and done something and put a limit on themselves that is inhumanly like, how the fuck did you? People that have recovered, especially from opiates. Like that to me is those people.
That's why I look at
those people are
so
fucking
much.
heroes, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? That to do something that chemically is almost impossible to fucking kick, and you did that, your mind is on a different plane, bro. You can shut.
It's existential.
Yeah, dude, it's nuts.
Their level of
control.
growth and
Yeah, it's
control,
nuts, man. I really admire that heavily.
Well, and then the other side, and of course, I catch hell for this. I look at the side of it when people go to AA and stuff. Like the one part about NA, AA, Al-Anon, all of those that I have a hard time with is the religious aspect. Because to me, it's replacing your addiction with
another addiction. Yeah, it's like the Family Guy skit. I think about this. I actually just thinking about this the other day. It's like the Family Guy skit where Stewie is like in jail and he's all tatted up and he's got the cross and he's like lifting out. And he's like, "Yeah, man, now I just get high on the power of God." And then like the camera goes, he's like, "Yo, dude," he's like, "Yo, give me some coke." Like it's literally as soon as that, like it is. It's replacing one thing with the next. And,
you can't.
You can't do that.
There is no substitution for
No,
for
you can't
addiction.
substitute
There is no
it.
substitution
And the
for
way you fill that is through fulfillment. You
Yeah.
fill it with things that actually have substance to them instead of substances.
Which
You
is
fill it with love,
And
with
also
art,
impossible.
with joy.
You have to find something within yourself.
Yeah, because you're replacing. Because what you were doing with the drugs is filling a hole.
Yeah.
So how are you supposed to fill a hole of a thing that was used to fill the hole? Like
And I
you
say
can't.
a lot. Like
You
I have
can't.
a couple holes in myself that will never be.
Oh yeah, we all do, man. We're
No,
Swiss cheese.
They're giant chunks of me missing, and the pain of that is where I find most of my art.
See, and that's you know what I was actually thinking about this on
channel.
the ride over here. Something that I really struggle with right now is I felt like my substance abuse and that gave me my edge. It gave me what I needed to be creative and dig deep, and I thought it was this thing that I needed. It was a crutch that I used to be like, no, this is where good art is made. We're in this
And it's not.
It's not. No, that's the trick. That's the fucking lie. It's like
and it's a lie a lot.
it's a lie. It's like, no, I need this. I
It's
need
like
this to be.
people who smoke a lot of weed.
Yeah.
I gotta eat. Better smoke some weed.
Yeah,
I can't go to the store till I smoke some weed.
You don't
Can't.
need it. Like
You need it.
yeah. You giggling over it. But no, for real, I would drink and I'd do blow because I think it would give me that when I say edge, it's literally like that roughness that I needed to be to not be necessarily a successful artist, but be the artist that I wanted to be, to find that pain. And then I would use it to have pain so I could have motivation to make art. But now, because I always thought that art made out of joy and happiness was sappy bullshit. I thought it was,
And some of it is.
It is, but yeah, but really,
But some
you don't need to
some art
be
made
you
out of
don't
pain is
need to
utter
be
bullshit
fucked
too.
up to make fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can, and if anything, digging more introspectively sober is where you're gonna really find the gems. Because when you're fucked up, like you're not necessarily looking at the picture from the right direction.
Yeah.
You could take this beautiful picture, but it might be from the wrong angle.
Right now.
Yeah, it'll be from the wrong angle. So that's something I want to be able to tell, especially artists, because I feel like as far as substance abuse goes in a demographic of occupations, you've got like your people. I mean, like morticians and like police officers and doctors and shit. Obviously, have a really susceptible rate to being fucking substance abuse, like to use substance because they see fucked up shit all the time.
Yeah.
But as far as occupations go, artistry is one of those ones that goes hand in hand with substance abuse because it's just like
No, you hear tortured artist.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things like that we torture isn't always
Yeah.
from the outside.
Exactly.
Yes, we deal with trauma, but there's a lot of people who decided to just fuck themselves up.
If I could give
Success
advice,
causes more trauma than
exactly. If I could give any advice to any like, you know what I mean, like to myself, somebody like myself in their beginning flourishing parts of their careers, that you don't need that shit to make good art.
Yeah.
You can make good art by just
Just be you.
Be you. And being you doesn't you're like too many people rely on fucking whatever it is as a personality crutch. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, I do. I'm a fuck. I do pills. I'm a pillhead. Like that's my shit. Like, dude, like that's not who you are.
People are vegan. People
they use it as like this.
I work out 5 times.
It's their
a week,
aesthetic. It's like that's what they ride with. This is me. This is what I want to put out in the world. It's their ego. It's their super id. It's like
no matter what you do, good or bad, do it because you
want to do it.
You want to do it.
Exactly. Instead of you think that this is the way that's going to make me look
choice.
cool. This ain't MySpace, dog. Like you can put up all the pictures you want, but we see you.
Making your relationship look so happy.
Yeah, no, dog. I hear you screaming.
Yeah.
Like I hear the fights, dog.
Yeah,
like
that wasn't your doorknob.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, I'm excited for these next few months, and hopefully, shoot an email to the.
It's the Closet of Nonsense at Gmail. Since she sucks at it, DJ Ekoh on Facebook. Special Skyler
on pretty much everything else. Yeah, and then
or it comes up as Origami Unicorn.
Yeah, on Twitter.
Yeah.
And then
follow his shit.
Yeah, and then CyberGothDanceParty on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah, follow those.
Yeah.
So get there, and then I'm really enjoying the biggest part of this. we're not getting a lot of suggestions or questions and things like we're getting people noticing and saying stuff like, oh hey, listen to this, nice thing, this. I want to know where everybody's hearing us.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to hear.
Like, I want to know
how the fuck
like,
you're finding it.
That chick from Virginia.
Shouts out to Virginia.
Yeah, like, I'm like, that's weird, but cool. Like, I want it.
No, that'd be interesting. So, get in contact. We'd love to hear from you.
For real. All right. Well, music on this one, I'm throwing a CyberGoth at the beginning.
Nice.
There's one more track that I had to flip a coin the last one to decide which one I wanted.
Word. Cool.
And then I'll probably close it out with Ekoh.
Nice.
Fucking
send it, bud.
Yeah. He just gets better and better.
Yeah.
So.
Cool. Well, thanks for sitting down, man.
Thanks for
finally
good
time.
Yeah,
finally cut out some time, man.
If any of y'all give us shit about not wearing masks, none of us are around.
Yeah, we're 6 feet apart. Yeah.
We're sitting.
Yeah.
So, thanks Haley for your occasional
chime in. Yeah, everyone give a round of applause for my beautiful girlfriend Haley.
Who just made a really
the love of my life.
Weird motion.
Yeah. I didn't like it either. It's cool. Whatever.
Yep.
But thanks for listening, guys. Catch you on the next one.
Yeah, feeling sick again. Swore the last time was the last time, but look at me on a slip again. Wish I was different, but it's always the same. So strained, the feeling of that withdrawal pain. And all my friends, they don't understand. It's been a minute since you got a bag. Maybe it wasn't that bad, and you can just have one now. And I'll be taking one balloon so high, I'll never come down. So wake me when it's over, I gotta try to fix this. I'll call you when I'm sober, or when I'm not resistant. I'm sorry that you love me, I know you hate it. Fucked up when I stopped being grateful and got complacent. I'm only high cause I've been feeling this low, and that's the only way to make it back to normal, I suppose. And I know that you think I'm perfect, but all that's a facade. And trying to hide how I've been feeling is lonelier than I thought. So put the bottle down, I really don't trust what I do. I make the worst decisions sober, that's the fucking truth. Cause I don't take the first hit when I'm already blitzed. I take it clear-headed, uncomfortable in my fucking skin. You don't know what I've done, I swear to God that if you did, then your heart would be broken into a million pieces. Had it all, but I lost it in a blink. Afraid to ask for help cause I'm afraid of what you'll think.
I'm so sorry, I'm not